Thank you, Mel.
You're welcome,
I
Tracy.
appreciate you coming in to sit and talk with me about your experience with Who's at Your Table. So can you just take a minute and talk a little bit about what your experience was and how you're using it?
Yes. So it was very eye-opening for me and really changed my perception of myself. My initial response when I was younger, and even up to recent, was that I would respond in fight. So if there was some kind of confrontation, or if I was provoked in any way, I would get enraged and angry. And I realized, obviously, this is not working, right? It's not productive. Things don't get done the way they should. And so I changed that over time. I think just maturity and age and stuff like that. And I thought I had progressed as a human being, and I thought, wow, look at me, Melanie, just so great. But what I realized was I was just changing my response. So I changed my response to freeze. So instead of immediately reacting to something, I would just stop and hold it all in. And this is also not productive and also not healthy. But what it does allow is it allows me to take some time to figure out the situation before I respond, before I say something I shouldn't or do something I shouldn't. And so since taking this course, what I've been able to do is recognize that I'm still responding in freeze, and then I'm figuring out what actions I want to take or what words that I want to say, and then I'm going ahead and saying them, as opposed to before I would have just sat in freeze thinking that I've made progress. I'm not yelling, I'm not screaming.
Yeah, but you're also still not expressing when you're in freeze.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how about that wisdom side?
Yeah.
Are you able to recognize and tap into that?
I am. Definitely not immediately in the moment all the time. Sometimes yes, but often it's after I recognize what response I'm in and just take a minute for myself, and then I can connect with wisdom and figure out, okay, what is the best course of action here? So maybe with time I'll get a little bit quicker at that, but right now it does take me a minute to do that.
I think it takes practice to figure out how it feels, or and not even so much it, but the experience of being grounded and solid and, okay, now I can do this, versus that freeze response where you're not able to say anything.
Totally. And another thing I noticed is you really draw attention to the body and how we feel in the body, and that for me is just something that I block out. Like if I feel something in my body, it's just like, no, I just block out and continue on the path of whatever I'm doing. And I've really noticed that I'm starting to be aware of what's going on in my body.
Fantastic. Good. Well, thank you, Mel. I appreciate you coming in and chatting with me.
No problem.